So of those two sons, let's talk about the younger one. The younger one does some pretty wicked things, or bad things, doesn't he? First, he asks for his inheritance from his father early, which is like basically a slap in the face. It's very disrespectful. That would be like you or I going to a relative or our parents and saying, man, I need all my money. I don't really care about you. In fact, I wish you were dead. So he says he needs that money, but he doesn't actually need it, does he? The story plays that out. He goes and wastes it. We say that he wastes it, and the story is actually, in Jesus' words, it's actually pretty blunt. He says he goes and wastes it on prostitutes and wild living. It's like taking an inheritance and going to Las Vegas for a crazy weekend, in America at least. You know, he also does a couple of other things that are wicked in the Jewish culture at that time, that the people listening to Jesus, remember from the very first video, we kind of set the stage, if you will. Those people would have heard him say that he fed pigs as even a worse affront, because those were considered unclean. So the clear picture here is that he's at the bottom of the barrel. This younger son is doing some pretty bad things, both culturally and morally, in his family and in his situation. But he does something good. And it's not really about his works. Instead, he agrees that he's done something wrong with the father. He returns. He repents. And as you saw in the story, he comes back to the father and is restored as his father comes out to meet him. You know, but the older son, he's actually a different story. Something different happens with him, doesn't it? You know, is there anything good that he does? Well, not really. While it appears that his work is good in the father's eyes, in the end, when his brother comes back and is forgiven, he's upset about that, so that his work seems to be just a means to an end for him. In fact, he not only has the wrong motive for his work, but he hates his father and brother. Or at least he argues with them. He's very upset. He doesn't want to forgive his brother, and he remains outside the house, refusing to agree with his father and come in. So he's left on the outside. And to me, that's actually the saddest part of the story. The one who, the type of person who is represented by the younger son, the one who runs away and squanders his living and does wicked things, he's actually the one restored. Whereas the one who seems to be doing what's right ends up outside the house. But thank goodness and praise the Lord, this story isn't about two kinds of lost people represented by two sons only. It certainly is about them, but it's not only about them. It's actually about a great father. So let's talk about that father for a second.